And we're live. Welcome to episode 2 of Squabble, a noisy quarrel about something petty or trivial. This episode is about
flat Earth.
Yeah, flat earthers versus round Earth.
The same side.
Yeah. We're trying to keep all these podcasts the same time length, more or less. But honestly, this might take a long time. I have some really good points. I'm taking the flat Earth side, and I have some pretty good points. I have to say, I watched like 20-minute videos, and I've been to their official website. I'm not kidding. Yeah. So
I think the official Round Earth website is just every website.
Prepare to get destroyed, my friend. Yeah, let's go ahead and start off. Why do you believe that the Earth is round, Jacob?
Well, first of all, I've seen pictures of it from multiple angles.
Pictures.
Yeah, are you gonna say they're doctored? They're fake?
Well, how do you know that those pictures are real?
How do I know that they're real pictures?
Yeah, how do you know they're real?
Because they've been approved by multiple people. We've sent people to the moon, and just it makes logical sense. So there's no reason for me to believe
logical sense.
Yes, 100%.
So you're taking their word for it. You're taking
I'm taking
scientists' words for it.
Multiple very qualified people's word for it.
And how do you know they're qualified?
Because they work.
Because they
like
say
NASA.
They are. They say you're taking it for their word. You're taking a leap of faith and saying what those people say is true. Have you searched yourself? Have you found evidence yourself?
And MDs and all sorts of things.
So they claim
studied for years.
and they learned from other people who also claimed the same thing, right? That's all
you're
knowledge
questioning
is.
the entire world.
I am. Because if you know,
that's just stupid. That's just stupid.
No.
There's no argument.
You have to admit that you're putting faith in a certain group of scientists, whether
99% of scientists.
Okay, no matter how large the group is, you're putting faith in them that they're right.
Yes, I'm putting faith in the entire world.
No, you're putting faith in people who are teaching you. You're putting faith in teachers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, of course. Well, you don't know. You haven't researched it yourself. So
I have.
You got to go into this with an open mind. Let me begin by saying, you said common sense.
I said logic.
Logic and common sense. Well,
they're not really hand in hand, but
let me read you a little thing this is from their official website, the Flat Earthers, www.theflatearthsociety.org.
Okay.
That's their official website. I've been on it. You should go on it.
Please don't support them.
I'm sorry.
You can't even keep a straight face.
And let me also begin by saying, if you're a flat earther out there who's watching this, I might be laughing, and he might be judging, but
I am. I'm sorry. I don't even feel bad.
I'm genuinely trying to argue your guys' case here. I'm not. I don't consider myself a flat earther yet, but I'm genuinely trying to argue your guys' case, and I've researched a lot about you, so I hope I get all these facts straight.
No, before we started filming this, he told me.
So let me read a little bit. It says, members of the Flat Earth Society claim to believe the Earth is flat. Walking around on the planet's surface, it looks and feels flat, so they deem all evidence to the contrary, such as satellite photos of Earth as a sphere, to be fabrications of a round Earth conspiracy orchestrated by NASA and other government agencies. Okay,
so I'm going to point out the reason that you think the Earth is flat is because we're walking on it, and it quote seems flat, it feels flat, quote. That's why because
you just said it was common sense.
I said it was logical. Common sense is not necessarily logic. A lot of people are not very logical in their thinking, like people that think the Earth is flat because it quote feels flat when they walk on it.
So you're saying it feels like
you do realize the Earth is very large.
Yeah.
And I do think it feels like that's why when you look over the horizon on somewhere really flat, you'll eventually stop because it bends. If it was flat, you would literally see forever. You could see the entire Earth, until there's a mountain or something blocking your way. You go to the salt flats where it's super flat for miles and wherever that is, you eventually it stops because the Earth is starting to turn.
No, the Earth's not starting to turn.
Sorry. Then why do you?
No. So let me first of all, how far have you been? Across the Earth.
Not even a quarter, probably.
Exactly.
How far have you been?
Also not that far.
But I know there have been people that have traveled the entire Earth.
Yeah, one of those people? Hitler.
Hitler.
I'm serious. Hitler has been to the end of the Earth. Yeah.
You're taking Hitler's word for it?
So during the war, when he was taking control, he decided he needed to...
Wait, can I get some out of the way before you start this? Where is the end of the Earth? Exactly.
It's on all sides of us. It's everywhere.
So we can just...
It's a circle, dude. The Earth is a
How
disc.
come nobody's discovered it?
Hitler did. It's huge. And let me... okay, so how come no one's discovered it? That's a good question. And I'm here to rebuttal your I don't know, faithless mind, you ignorant fool. So first of all, the end of the Earth is a giant wall. Yeah, so that's why none of the water falls off of the Earth, because it's a giant wall. It's like a giant wall surrounding the whole Earth. And how come people haven't been there? Well, NASA has been there. The government has been there. They don't want you to know, though. So they
Why do
make sure that you don't get there.
Why don't they want us to know?
Because
what is their reasoning for not wanting us to know?
Good question. They are like everyone working for NASA, like the high end of NASA.
What about a janitor?
Buttload rich.
Oh.
Well, the janitors aren't in on it,
are.
obviously. I mean, you have to think this is a giant conspiracy.
Okay, yeah.
They're getting butt tons of money because not only has NASA fooled us, citizens, the government doesn't know either. NASA is above even the government's knowledge of the Earth, because what has the government done? The government says, NASA, we trust you. You control this space Earth stuff, And so NASA says, okay, government, the Earth is a globe. But the government hasn't found out for themselves. No, NASA's feeding lies to
the
people.
highest paying job at NASA is a lead engineer, and it's only $126,000 annual salary.
Why would they
which is not overly... Which is not that much. I mean, that's a lot, but I mean, that's not but load rich, which is what you said.
Why would they reveal how much money they're getting?
Why would they?
That would just blow their whole conspiracy.
But why is it a conspiracy? You've given me no reason other than they're making money.
Well, that's why
they'd still be making money even if they told us.
What?
Okay, let's say they revealed the Earth was flat. They'd still be making money. If you're saying the reason they're not revealing it is because they're making money, what's stopping them from making money if they were to reveal it?
Well, because the government would stop funding them.
I thought
Let me move on.
Hey, whoa. Wait. I found the hole. Why?
Just hold on. Just let me.
Can I put up a point too against why it's not?
Sure.
Do you believe in gravity?
Yes, I do. Well, yeah. With a flat Earth, in the flat Earth society, there's a little more specific explanation for gravity. But yeah, I believe in gravity.
So you're saying you have a separate... You don't believe in the scientifically accepted term of gravity. You have your own term.
I believe in gravity, but you round earthers have gravity's definition wrong.
Oh, we do.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's say gravity works in the center of the planet. Okay?
Okay.
So what about the people that live towards the edge? They wouldn't be pulled straight down. They'd be pulled sideways. Everybody on the edge of the Earth would be being pulled like this.
No. So, you talk so far away from the mic. No one's going to be able to hear your terrible and stupid arguments for how the Earth is a ball, idiot. Okay. No. So gravity doesn't work like that. So, first of all, let me begin by saying...
Please tell me why.
Let me begin by saying, wait, let me see. I got notes here. Oh, yeah. Newton's theory of gravity is by definition...
I'm not going to be able to take a drink.
Why do you even bring a cup? You always knock it over and stuff.
I don't know.
Newton's theory of gravity, by definition, is a theory and has actually never been proven. Okay, so there's that. Yeah. So the Earth is a disk, and the disk is constantly flying upwards in space.
First, where are you hearing this from? Who's saying this?
The Flat Earth Society.
But how do you trust them? You're just taking their word for it.
Exactly. So,
but you judge me for taking my word.
well, I'm not judging you. I'm just
people.
saying you take what. I mean, you got to have an open mind because we're
whatever,
both taking leaps of faith here.
I'm not taking a leap of faith.
And I mean, you are taking a leap of faith because you haven't traveled the Earth. You haven't done the numbers you haven't done the physics
either.
You know exactly. So we're both taking a leap of faith.
But I know that people have, and it's been.
I know that people have researched the flat Earth theory,
and all they came up with is NASA's not telling us because for some reason they're making money because they're not telling us that the Earth is flat.
Well, let me also say that even modern day scientists who believe in a round Earth have said themselves they don't fully understand gravity and physics and mathematics. In fact, well, let me just get to my gravity point here that I was explaining before you interrupted me.
Oh yeah, you also never finished the Hitler thing. I'd like to know that too.
Yeah. So gravity. So the Earth is a disk and it's constantly going upwards. That's why whenever you drop something, it goes down. That makes sense. Why are you laughing?
Your definition of gravity is that the Earth is flying upwards.
Yes.
So is the moon and the sun then, and all the other planets?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
The stars too?
Because
they're not always in the same constellation.
I never got into that part, but I think that the fact that they're so far away is we can still see them even after we're going up.
Well, how fast are we going up? Someday are all the constellations going to go away?
I think it's like 33. So I don't know. It's however fast it takes for things to hit the ground. That there's like an actual some sort of, I don't know. We're going up fast enough to keep us on the ground.
Okay.
You know. Let me go back to the top of my list here of points. First of all, I also meant to say this in the beginning that since 2009, the Flat Earth Society has grown 200 people every year since 2009. Yeah, so there's a lot of people in on this. That's what their website says anyway. Okay, here's my first point. The Earth is apparently spinning hundreds of miles per hour in a circle, is what you claim. Yet nobody has ever experienced this? Why can't we feel the Earth spinning?
Why can't we feel the Earth spinning?
Yeah, nobody in history has ever experienced the Earth spinning at supposedly hundreds of miles per hour.
Why can't we feel us flying up at 30 miles an hour?
We do. That's called gravity. Whenever you drop something, that's how you know.
The reason that we don't go flying around the Earth is because of gravity. It's in the center of the Earth. It's pulling us towards it. And also we have an atmosphere. We're not just like a meteor flying through.
Okay, that's true. But so Newton's law of gravity says everything is pulling everything else. So that means that a tennis ball would also be pulling things to it. But if you put a speck on a tennis ball, say a drop of water, and you spin the tennis ball at 100 miles an hour, that drop is not going to stay on the tennis ball. It's going to fly off. So in that scenario, the Earth is the tennis ball, and we are that drop of water. Why aren't we flying off the Earth?
Because we aren't just a tennis ball.
Let me go to my next point.
A tennis ball doesn't have gravity.
Yes.
Okay, not as much of gravity.
And not as much as gravity.
Not as strong of a force. And that little dot, it probably wouldn't come off completely.
Let me go to my next point then. If gravity is credited with being a force strong enough to hold the world's oceans, buildings, the people, and atmosphere stuck on the surface of a rapidly spinning ball, then it is impossible for gravity to also simultaneously be weak enough to allow little birds and bugs and planes to take off and travel freely.
That is the stupidest argument I've ever heard.
Why is that
because
stupid?
You realize that a bird and a plane and a bug has a lot less mass than an ocean or a building.
Exactly. So the gravity is pulling a humongous
building
to the floor, but the bird is
the more mass it has, the harder it's being pulled down by gravity. That's the definition of mass. How strong it's being pulled. I'm pretty sure that is actually the definition.
Where did you read that?
Everywhere.
A history book?
Science books, the internet, teachers, everywhere.
Okay. Well, that actually brings me to my next point. Did you know that that Michael Jackson is a flat earther?
What does that? How qualified is Michael Jackson
Well,
Is this just supposed to be cool?
let me just give you a quote from Michael Jackson. The press has been manipulating everything that's been happening. They do not tell the truth. They are lying. They are manipulating our history books. History books are not true. It's a lie. You need to know that. You must know that. That is a quote from Michael Jackson. Second famous person.
Because Michael Jackson has all the authority on the flat Earth.
Well, Michael Jackson, sure.
He doesn't have a PhD.
Okay, so I see that you're scrambling to come up with
Scrambling. You're the one quoting Michael
rebuttals.
Jackson on science.
Okay. I understand. Let me quote some other people that might be a little more
Hitler?
qualified in
Like
your book.
Hitler?
Well, I've already been to the Hitler.
Oh yeah, I want to hear that story. Can we just take a pause and you can finish the story about how he went
Sure.
to the end of the Earth?
So Hitler supposedly had a base in Antarctica,
Okay,
but
supposedly.
yeah, but what it really was he just took trips to the end of the Earth because he was. Yes, don't laugh. Because
Where's the proof? We thought it was a base, but no, he was just taking trips to the end of the Earth.
yeah.
And doing what?
That's what. Let me continue, please. He was experimenting. So when he started taking over, when he had assets, he was taking over the world. He decided that he needed to make sure that everything that the schools were teaching was true. So he recruited a bunch of scientists to start confirming everything that was being taught. One of the things they researched, flat Earth, whether the Earth is round. And there's actually photos of Hitler with a flat Earth map. Okay, some say those are photoshops.
It's called a map,
but they're not.
A flat Earth map is just a map.
No. There's a difference. You look it up. There's a flat Earth map and there's just a regular map. That's pretty much the whole story of Hitler. It's not that big of a deal, and it hasn't been proven. So,
But it's a big deal
I
that
don't
Michael
know.
Jackson's.
I don't know if the flat earthers actually confirmed
Hitler?
that, or yeah, I'm not sure. My second person that is definitely qualified, Albert Einstein. Yeah, that's right. He said, he said, as far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain.
That does not mean the Earth is flat.
No. It means that there's no 100% certainty that what we have deemed true and science is
That means
actual.
dolphins could pull machine guns out of their butts and take over the world. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
That is the stupidest rebuttal. These round Earth. Okay.
You
next
just
person.
said the reason. You just said that Michael Jackson first off has authority, and then you said that Albert Einstein is a flat earther because he said that sometimes reality and scientific laws are wrong. Sometimes.
No. We are not certain of the laws. That's what he said.
So we're not
Nikolai-
certain of a flat Earth either.
I'm
I'm 99.999% certain that the Earth is a ball.
okay.
I've got a question for you. What about the other planets? Are they all flat too? Like Jupiter, Mars? Are they flat?
We'll get there. We'll get to that. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm new to the Flat Earth Society. But yeah, so I'm not.
Okay,
100% sure.
I've got one. You've been given all this.
Wait.
evidence. I've got one.
You can give your points after I give my points. It's an argue. I list my points, you
Okay.
rebuttal, and then you can list your
Okay.
points, and I'll rebuttal. Who was I going to next? Right, Nikolai Tesla. He basically said the same thing Albert Einstein did, and he said that the smartest of scientists will never fully understand science. So that put a lot of trust in those guys. My next point, this was actually I planned this because I thought you might say something about planes and how.
I was gonna get there.
Oh, okay, good. Well, NASA actually has control over the flight industry. Yeah. They
What does that have to do with seeing out of a plane?
well, because they plan flight courses so that the pilots won't fly too close to the Earth's edge and discover it. Yeah.
You still have a reason why the scientists are doing this.
Yeah, they're getting money.
But why?
Okay, my next point.
Wait, you still keep glossing over that. Why are they getting money? And why wouldn't they if they revealed the Earth was flat?
Well, they're
You
they're
know,
getting money because the government is funding them to do research. But
so
they're
you're
not
saying
actually
that the
doing
government would
research.
stop
They're
funding the Earth, stop funding NASA if the Earth was flat?
Well,
If
they
anything,
wouldn't-
if we discovered that, they would start funding them
Well,
more so
think
they can
about it.
find out how we didn't know.
think about it. They want to
Think about it.
like because they went to the moon and they went to space and they have satellites and stuff,
Yes.
all that stuff would be
And
useless
you know what,
if
with
the
all
Earth
those-
was flat.
Why?
Well, because if they wouldn't have to go. First of all, the satellites, they're fake. They're actually just radio towers. So,
But we could still use satellites.
no.
What about satellites in space that power your phone, the internet?
We're moving on.
Wait a second.
Dude, I
This is
can't.
stupid.
I'm not a professional. I've just
Me neither.
new.
I'm still wrecking you.
I'm new to the flat earthers.
Yeah.
I learned this in like a week. I've been researching over just a week. Okay, if I had a real flat earth.
Wait, can I
on,
point out
we
one of
would
the
be-
notes I just saw on your computer?
Sure.
The end of the Earth is actually a huge wall.
Yeah, that's a point that I have. That's
Like,
how
it's
the
just a
water
wall?
doesn't fall off.
So if you get to, how come we can't see these?
The walls?
Yeah.
Well, they're not that big. You can't see something that far away. I mean, this is a huge
we've been
disc,
to Antarctica. I thought you said it was fairly close.
Dude. You haven't been to Antarctica.
But Hitler has.
NASA, that's true. NASA is like surveying the edge of the Earth so that nobody gets too close and finds that.
You also have You also
Wait,
have.
stop looking at my notes and let me present my notes. Okay,
I'd like
next
to point
note.
one out. Okay.
We already kind of debated this one. Why is it okay for you to take a scientist's word for truth, but not my word
Because you're
for
not a
truth?
scientist.
Or the flat earthers' word for truth? Both parties have done research.
Wait, have
and
you done
presented
years
their
of research
case.
and gone to just like 8 years of school?
Yeah, a lot of my guys have. I think. I'm still new. I don't know them all, but I am on their website now. I'm subscribed.
Did you really subscribe to like a newsletter?
Not a newsletter,
No.
just their. Okay, next point. So modern day science claims this one's a really good one. This is a good one. Modern day science claims that the sun is 93 miles, a million miles away from the Earth. In fact, the number 93 is actually used in Jewish gematria, which was often used for fooling the masses. Coincidence?
I think so.
I think not.
So you're saying that it's a fake because we happen to be going because the sun happens to be the same amount of miles away from the Earth that 93
that's
some Jewish guy back in like World War II used to
no,
trick his
the
grandma or
Jewish
something.
gematria is a Jewish metric system, and the number 93 is the number they used when they were trying to fool people. Yeah, that's what I thought. You have.
So wait, so
this-
NASA,
That's
NASA,
crazy,
NASA
dude. That's
was-
crazy.
It's not that crazy.
That's crazy.
93. I mean, it's.
What are the odds that it was 93 miles away?
I'm sure
Million
you could
miles.
find a number that was used for tricking something in every single culture.
Let me move on to my next point. Oh yeah, I already kind of went over this one. Newton's theory of gravity is by definition a theory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Flat
It's
Earth
not
is just a
proven.
hypothesis.
it's a theory. Flat
Nope,
Earth
it's
theory.
not been tested.
Yeah, we've tested it several times.
How?
Actually, Hitler has tested it. I forgot to mention this
He's
part.
trusting Hitler now. This is sad.
Let me just
You're
let me
defend Hitler.
go on the record here and say Hitler was a terrible person. It was awful what happened, but he
What
conducted some reasonable research of flat Earth. One of those research or the tests that they did was they sent a rocket up in the air, okay, and the Earth is spinning, I think, eastwards. I think the Earth, according to you guys, the
Eastwards.
Earth is spinning eastwards, and
No, it's going up northwards.
and because the Earth is going eastwards, if you shot up a cannonball in the air, it would fall westwards. It would fall back westwards every single time. However, when that test was conducted, it didn't.
Because it's not going outside. It's not going into space and coming back down.
What?
Do you know how momentum works?
Just,
When you're in a car and you drop something, does it fly backwards because you're moving forward?
good point.
See? Exactly.
So-
Can I give one of my points? now?
Sure. Give one of your points.
Okay. You know what the eclipse is? An eclipse. You know why the moon is sometimes crescent shaped?
Do I know why the moon is crescent shaped?
Yes. Sometimes.
Tell me. Go ahead.
Because the Earth's shadow, the Earth's round shadow, casts over it slightly.
You don't think the Earth can have a circular shadow?
But I thought you said it was flat.
Well, it's a circle. It's a disc.
Well,
like
yeah,
a pancake.
but the moon's above us when we see it.
And the sun is below us.
Well, then how come on some parts of the world? That's another thing. It would always be basically the same time in any part of the Earth. In Japan right now, it's dark outside. Why?
Good point.
See,
I don't claim to have all the answers.
I do claim to have most of the answers. So I mean,
I'm just saying. That goes back to my first point. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a little video to watch. If you're really into this,
you could play it here.
Theory.
Watch it.
No, that would be terrible. I actually can't find it. I closed it. But basically, this guy, he was so serious. He claimed that first of all, he was 100% serious the entire video, and he had some convincing points that I laughed at a few times. He said that it is biblically wrong to believe, I'm serious, that the Earth is a sphere. He said that God created the Earth as a disc.
Wait,
yeah,
give me the verse.
He doesn't say it. He didn't give any biblical proof. At the end of the video, he just kind of threw that in there. I was confused, but I was like, "What? Okay." He began the video by saying, "Hi guys, I don't like to give titles, but I do consider myself a man of God, and here's why the Earth is flat." I didn't know how those connected, but I'm serious. That's how he began the video.
Wow.
But however, their website says that it's not a religion. That here's general information here. One of the questions is let's see, is flat Earth connected to religion? And it's not. Flat Earth theory is neither officially nor unofficially associated with any religion. Throughout the ages, various religion institutions have championed a flat Earth model for the world. Unfortunately, this leaves us with the thought that flat Earth theory and religions are symbiotic. Sorry, but they're not. So that's basically what they said. So it's not a religion, but this guy he's
a man of God.
Yeah, he was certain that God created a flat Earth, and I was like, man, it's crazy.
Okay,
continue. What?
Why don't we all see the same constellations? In Japan right now?
In stars, mean?
Yeah, we see the Big Dipper. They don't see that in Japan. Same time. But if it was,
it's because they're not looking the right way.
They're not looking the right way.
Let me give you another. Let me give you another point here.
Okay, just gloss over. You don't have evidence against that one. You just said they're not looking the right way.
Now,
so you're saying if someone in Japan turned their head to the left a little bit, they'd see the same constellations we would, same stars?
They'd probably get a nice glance. When you look over the horizon, do you see any curve?
Well, I mean, eventually, yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
You can look at pictures.
No,
Google the horizon. Horizon.
Yeah, eventually, you stop seeing it.
You stop. No. But it's flat. Look at this. Look at this horizon of the ocean. Flat.
Yeah, look. And you
look at this.
See how back there, sorry.
Flat.
Yeah, but you see how back there eventually it stops?
No, it doesn't. Well, of course
we can't see it
because it's the wall.
You'd be able to see the. No. But okay, you see that? You see how you can stop seeing at some point?
Yeah. Well,
That's because the Earth starts doing this, and your eyes can't see like that.
No, that's not true. Your eyes just can't perceive that far away. Like when you have a sign that says chicken butt on it. If you hold the sign really close, you can read, chicken butt. But if the sign keeps going backwards, eventually you won't be able to read it.
If the sign was as big as a mountain, I think I'd eventually be able to see it from across the ocean.
Not true. What was it? Oh yeah.
Why?
Another thing I was going to say in a separate video. It was a conference. First of all, didn't know this. There's a Flat Earth conference.
Flat Earth Con? You going?
I don't think it's called Flat Earth Con, but it could, and maybe it'd be. I don't know, but I would go. What I was going to say was, there was an astronaut there. Yeah, a NASA astronaut was a guest. I don't know if he volunteered. First of all, what my immediate thought, why would they try so hard to deny this theory if they're not gaining something from it?
They aren't.
Why wouldn't they just not dismiss it as
just?
But then why did this guy go to the conference?
Because that guy's an idiot.
Oh, you're saying astronauts are idiots?
I'm saying that one astronaut.
They're fake.
Wait,
Anyway.
so you're saying, wait. So there's not even astronauts anymore? We don't even have a reason to go into space?
Of course they're not astronauts. It was all Hollywood magic. Yeah,
So why aren't they sending people to space?
they're not.
Oh, but why not? That's my point.
They can't. We don't have that technology.
What?
I said we don't have technology to get to space.
We don't
it
have a
was all
rocket?
fabricated.
I think we have a rocket by now.
Well, yeah, not one that could get to space and survive in there. It was a harsh environment. Anyway.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, since the Earth is constantly moving up, we couldn't do that. The Earth would catch up with us.
True. Let me,
So is anybody falling off the edge of the Earth?
probably, but NASA wouldn't let us know about that. Let me continue with this astronaut thing. So it was a video at the conference. He was on stage. He was taking questions from the audience. And this one guy said, why?
Did you watch this
Sorry.
video, or is this you read?
No,
about
I watched it.
Oh, okay.
Why? He said his question was, why are there bubbles in space? And
Bubbles.
the astronaut confirmed it, that there are bubbles in space. And he said sometimes, like in the helmets, there'll be a bubble or two.
Oh.
It's because he said the sweat and sometimes the ventilation system in the suit will have some water in there, and the little bubbles of water, they're not bubbles, they're actual water that will float
Like
up in the
droplets.
helmet. And
Yeah.
the guy said, the guy who's asking the question said, that's not true. It's because you guys were filming underwater, and that's how it looks like space. That's the greatest explanation I've ever heard for how they film.
And what did the astronaut laugh?
No, he tried to explain himself. Yeah, exactly. He said, that's not true. That's not...
Because
worried,
it's not
dude.
true.
He looked worried. I should have gotten that picture of the guy. Yeah,
I don't think he looked worried.
He did. You haven't seen the video.
I haven't seen the video. I'd love to watch it.
Another thing, somebody did a green screen test. Apparently there's a program where it can detect green screen that has been green screened. And there was a video of a woman of astronaut.
So you're just gonna take their word for it?
And he de-green screened it, and it showed her not in a green screen, not in space. Yeah, it was just a green screen. It's fabricated.
I don't believe that. You're just gonna take that guy's word for it?
Yes.
I don't think that program exists. I'm gonna look up de-green screening program and see if
It was on a YouTube video.
Of course it was. De-green screening. De-green. Oh wait, not.
Yeah, you're spelling that wrong. I think this theory is first of all, I gotta say I don't think it's biblical. I'm sorry, Mr. Whoever I was.
Hey, he's a man of God.
Sorry, he's a man. He had some good facts. I mean, good points. Sorry, good points.
There's nothing here for de-green screening.
I don't think I'm convinced that the Earth is flat, but actually, I am convinced that the Earth is flat. I'm gonna go ahead and say right
It's
now,
not non-biblical.
The Earth is flat.
You know what?
What?
You changed my mind. I think the Earth is flat too. No, of course not.
Yes,
It's
dude.
not at all. You've given no evidence that I haven't been able to come up with something against it.
I think that my evidence is pretty good. Also, apparently, little children, shut your ears.
Oh.
This was a really strange point that the guy made in the video. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I decided since you're being such a turd, I would try to bring it up and change your mind.
Children, shut your ears.
The word sex is photoshopped in pictures of the Earth. I'm serious. He showed me, and the clouds spelled out sex. I'm serious.
I don't believe that. What?
Let me look it up.
Don't look up sex on Earth. Please. You don't want that in your search history.
Good point. Yeah. Also, I totally even forgot about this. I didn't write it down because it was like a last minute video that I watched.
Mm-hmm.
The NASA has admitted to photoshopping pictures of Earth.
I mean, I'm sure they do some. That doesn't mean every single one is.
And this guy went over a picture of the Earth that was photoshopped because he found out there's a tool in Photoshop called the clone tool. If anybody out there has used it, and it just like clones something, you draw over one thing and then draw over the next, and that thing will appear over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he found he found several clouds that have been cloned. They were exactly the same as the cloud to the.
I don't
next,
believe that.
Yeah.
I have to see that video. I'm sorry.
Let me show
I
you
just
the
don't
picture.
believe that.
Flat Earth theory, photoshopped Earth. It was really.
I can just look up Earth and my pictures of mine will come up.
I think. Let me see. Well, there's a flat Earth map. See, it's different. Oh, here it is. Here, this is the picture. Right here. Oh, wait, this is the video. No, it's not. Just kidding. This isn't the video I watched, but this is the Earth. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, the Earth is flat.
They look different to me.
Those clouds do not look different to you. Those are the exact same darn clouds.
Okay, look. Here's a live stream of the Earth right now. Look, here it is.
Live stream.
Look, here's an astronaut working on something.
That is obviously fake.
That's fake?
Yes. That is the fakest thing I think I've ever seen. They can't. No way, dude. That's Hollywood right there.
They're doing a live Hollywood stream right now. That looks like
Yes.
Earth to me. Look at that. There it is.
I think we're running out of
we're
time
on
here.
there.
We're running out of time.
I don't.
So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm a flat earther.
I'm not. I'm sorry. You didn't convince me at all. In fact, if anything, you made me more of a round earther because of how little
I rounded you.
You rounded me. You made me more round.
I'm a flat earther. I think I came up with some really good points. I'm sorry if there were any flat earthers that were listening. We did laugh a lot, and I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to, discard you or anything like that.
I do. I'm sorry. I don't believe you.
And I tried to present my points really well, but I'm new to the Flat Earth Society. I did subscribe to the page.
Look, there's an astronaut. Look, there he is. He's taking a selfie.
Dude, did you see the cut? It was a jump cut in the live stream. That's fake.
I think it was
That
just bad
is
connection. I mean, he's in space.
Oh my gosh. How do you believe this trash? Thanks for watching. You can follow us on Facebook, Squabble.
Instagram.
You can follow us on
We don't have an
Instagram
Instagram account up
at
yet, do we?
Squabble Podcast. Yeah, we do.
Oh.
You can follow us personally at EmptyBox38.
I'm at ColorLad on all platforms.
Yep. And go ahead and feel free to subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yes, please do. And YouTube, right?
Yeah, we're on YouTube too. Squabble on YouTube, Squabble on iTunes. Our logo is a beautiful masterpiece.
Oh,
It's an S. Fun fact is an S that looks like a C
and a J.
Because
we didn't make it. It's just a cool font.
Yeah, it's a cool font. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know
I hope we changed your mind. If you're a flat earther, I hope I brought you to the light by just wrecking all of his arguments.
Go ahead and go to www.theflatearthsociety.org.
I'm still watching a live stream
to learn real more. Don't turn that around. They don't need to see that.
It's
garbage.
Earth live,
and it's not a live stream. I disagree. Tune in next week. We'll have video every Monday, and hope you enjoyed. I'm Carter with Squabble.
I'm Jacob. We'll see you next time.
What did we say last time? Snap it out. Snappy. We said something. We said like, snap you later. That's what you said.
Snap you later.
Maybe that should be our thing.
I hope not.
Okay.
I don't want to snap any of you. I'm sorry.
Flat Earthers, unite.
Ay.